Hello there everyone and welcome back. I gotta say, the more I play with the Slaughter Fleet, the more appeal I have to play with Chaos. I won't lie, because this next fleet, even though it was the most predominant fleet in Armada 1, is not nearly as exciting currently in Armada 2. A lot of it with this Lance-centric type of fleet. I did have the, Desolator before, way back on release of Armada 2, and that offered some essential burst damage because of those torpedoes. Now, with the micro warp jump being changed to be like a 15-second channel as opposed to instantaneous, keep that in mind, that was nerfed heavily, I am not able to do that as freely as I would like, to try and get the killing blow and even use my battleship to kind of reposition and serve as a little bit of bait. But this time around, I'm going to be utilizing 5 Archerons. I even decided to get rid of the Devastation, which is the cruiser carrier ship I use for a little bit of support, especially against bombers and seeker missiles in certain cases, but we're going to be relying more on our speed to somehow mitigate that damage. And sure, another problem with this fleet is the fact that the Lances don't have any upgrades associated to it. And I hinted at Battlefleet Gothic Armada 1, they had Disruption Overcharge for these Lances. Well, let me rephrase. The Disruption Overcharge, the upgrade I hammer so much into how it's currently bugged, was strictly for Lances, and it actually increased damage to shields by 50%. It didn't have all these other effects like the hollow fields and all that, mind you, but it's a lot of the reason I feel like Lance-centric Chaos was so powerful in Armada 1. Never mind the fact that they always hit their target, which is definitely going to be great here. It's the one main benefit I have going for me, in that it destroys frigates really damn well. It's just a matter of actually spotting them, which can be a bit problematic if my opponent doesn't just give them away. Regardless, if this somehow, after watching this video, you're not actually excited for the long-range type of objective-centric type of fleet, which is mainly what this fleet's going to be doing, there is still the Carnages if the Slaughters are too intimidating with their shorter range, because after all, that's their main hindrance. You have to be good with positioning for these to really be valuable. And the Carnages are almost the exact same. They have longer range macro weaponry, almost exclusively macro weaponry. So at least then, if you do get in a close range fight, unlike Lances, these things are going to be more effective for you, especially if you combo it with the armor piercing ammo. They are slower than the Slaughters though, but if you liked what you see with the Slaughters, a Carnage fleet is definitely a good alternative there. And there is another fleet, of course, but I have no interest in it personally. That we've seen with Arcanists? I'm trying to remember what it was. It was all Lances, so I'm assuming it was the Executioners, the cheapest type of ships. And then just a bunch of frigates. And the idea behind this is more to just overwhelm with the boarding damage that can be done with Demonic Infestation. I really don't like this fleet. There is some counterplay to it, but it's not very effective counterplay. And Augur Disruptive Bomb can counteract that effect, because why is this so powerful? Combine it with the enhanced sensor range, and those frigates can get boarding results on you, basically 18,000 units. And with 12 of them, that is at least 12 troop damage, on average, 18-ish troop damage to every single ship that even can shoot at it, basically. It's a little simplistic, something you should consider, I guess. Because some people have been wanting me to play Chaos Fleet, so I'm just going to give you a quick example of the different fleets that are possible. Never mind the 3 Despoiler fleet, which I really don't like either, mainly because, again, I feel like you're leaving it to your opponent to dictate how effective those bombers can be. But with that said, let's get this going and see if at least I can perform well with this fleet. Alright, this should be the Tau merchant fleet, I believe. So this will be interesting. Since I don't have any fighter bays or carrier ships to help deal with seeker missiles the best, I'm going to be relying on, ideally, some really good positioning and maybe some gas clouds and asteroid belts to force them to lose a lock. So, it's just hard. I'm trying to remember if it is the merchant fleet or not. Regardless, Tau do have the advantage in this type of matchup, mainly because of, at least if they're using the cruisers in either fleet composition, they have all their weaponry faced on the prow, so they can indiscriminately fly towards me, benefit from their 83 armor, and they have the repair drones to help mitigate a lot of the damage I'm doing to them. It's not an easy matchup for Chaos specifically, but I do still have the mobility. Their fighters are slower than pretty much any other ship in the game outside of Tyranids, so it's possible I can outrun the fighters to a point where the seeker missiles get shot down by the point defense. And actually, with that said, let's have these frigates grouped together. I used them before to try and, try and shoot down point defense or seeker missiles, so it can work in this matchup too. What are we looking at? This looks like a 6-cruiser fleet, although a less experienced opponent, it's looking like. And it does beg the question if I want to go after... Let's be careful the celestial body doesn't hit me.
We'll follow your command for now.
A less experienced opponent, we're still looking at basically 6 cruisers, so this is not going to be an easy matchup.
Reporting.
And with how aggressive they're going, I'm going to want to avoid this altogether. Actually, let me just turn these ships around, I guess. I got a little more breathing room over here, even if I take the asteroid belt damage. Although it helps if I control this fleet properly. Because as soon as I'm revealed, I'm going to start taking damage. Arguably from the seeker missiles. Although I burnt a lot of combustion gauge on these frigates, but they'll be safe. They'll get to conceal themselves soon, and maybe I could shoot down those frigates as a bonus. This objective layout's not very good for me, though. And this is the opportunity I want. I could shoot down the seeker missiles pretty well in this case.
As the War Master wills. Enemy ship sighted.
And actually, I could have used Siech's cloud effect. I kind of did not think much on it, if I were to be honest, but I can use it. Okay, so they're just going to sprint on through.
Your orders. We'll follow your command. For now.
Now, let's do this properly. My frigates are my most important defense here. Sadly, I'm going to be a little delayed. I'm going to lose a lot of these frigates too, but the point defense aren't at least shooting them. And actually, I know what I want to do here actually. Let's separate the fighters. Okay, they're going after... For some reason I thought they were going after the flagship, so... Can we at least get the point defense to help with the sum? I'm not really paying attention at best to everything else, but I can still dodge these pretty well. But I'm not even paying attention to what my opponent's doing. And sadly, this might hurt a bit still.
We'll follow your command for now. Adjusting rotation.
Now, if we can... the fighters are still there. I thought maybe there were some fighters I could have avoided.
War Master.
But they're hidden. Let's try and kill off these
We
ships.
stand ready.
And hopefully,
Ruinous powers.
I could kill off the rest of these ships.
Your orders. Setting course.
Hopefully.
Show us our victims.
The beacon is revealing me temporarily, though.
Slaughter. Moving to those coordinates.
And your combustion gauge is back up.
Master.
Now,
Reporting.
if I could kill these fighters, well, it's too late now. I was going to say if I could kill the fighters, that would help a lot.
Retros activated. For the ruinous powers.
So is there any way I could conceal myself? Because this is a bad spot for me. But at least they're shifting their targets. And actually I should be trying to kill the deck. I was thinking maybe engines would be good for me.
Strike successful, Master.
But they're not playing the passive route.
Your orders. We'll follow your command for now.
And they still have secret missiles, but
Show us
this
our
angle is actually pretty good for me because they're not able to shoot the best.
Retros activated.
Okay, now's our time to try take advantage of this.
For the War Master.
If they're gonna fire well, they'll only fire 2 secret missiles to be fair, but
Retros activated. Reporting.
no, engines have gone on you.
Set engines to full ahead. We stand ready.
Deck, sadly they did rally.
Moving to
But-
those coordinates.
I could conceal my ships and this is working well for me now. To a vague extent.
The War Master. As the War Master.
One of the ships is down.
Break them.
I did lose one of my ships.
Your orders.
And they are mutinying, they are breaking. I have that going for me, but we're not out of it yet. Where's the flagship? Oh, we did kill the flagship. Oh my god. Oh, never mind, it's not.
Reporting.
We are not out of this yet. Where are the secret missiles?
Fear us.
Ah, dang it. If I saw it was the one in back, I probably would have worried about that later. And what I mean by that is I probably would have tried to stage it so that they hit themselves. Because that's something you could do with secret missiles. They're mutiny. Deck's permanently gone there.
War Master.
I need to kill this flagship though.
We are unstoppable.
At least because a rally can really screw me over, but
I cannot, Master.
it's not the most convenient at the moment either.
Show us our victims.
But my shields become more powerful the less ships they have. And I do have brace for impact. And I am suffering a bit of latency as well, I'm noticing.
For the War Master. Adjusting rotation.
I want to ram this low morale ship. I'm not going to get it, sadly.
The War Master wills. We stand ready.
I would have liked to have rammed the ship, but they're conveniently rammed for me.
For the ruinous powers.
Again, the flagship's still alive.
Your orders.
You recovered, so we need to fix this.
Minions rampage through their ship.
This is a really tense battle, this is safe to say. Oh, flagship. Get back in line.
Victims.
I would like to be able to board you. Ah, oh, I can board you. And that will be enough to maybe kill off the crew.
Setting course.
And at least cripple you even further.
Reporting.
It's just a shame that the flagship's the one that's...
Our minions rampage.
We're having a hard... And I'm gonna break again if this flagship dies, so he needs to get out.
We stand ready. Moving to those coordinates.
If only the flagship was the one targeted first, this would be nice. But it's about to die.
Reporting.
Come on, get your shields back up.
Unstoppable.
If your shields could come back up, that gives you a little more breathing room.
For the ruinous powers.
And there's the rally I did not want. That I was kind of hoping I could mitigate.
For the ruinous powers! We stand ready! Setting course.
Can we kill this thing finally? Because I'm about to break.
We must escape.
I want to rally this. I'm not going to execute the crew.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
To the slaughter!
And we are hitting the prow there, so keep that in mind.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Moving to those coordinates! Retros,
Another 7 seconds. This can board and kill off the crew there.
command for now. We stand ready! We stand ready!
You have accumulated
We're not out of the woods yet, though.
strategic points.
As the War Master wills.
This is a weird match.
Engines hot.
And as soon as they ram me, this should be over with my brace for impact. They do have a generator, though, with that said.
Victims.
So I did a whole bunch of things wrong there. I said at the very beginning, my siege cloud could have mitigated so much problems there. It would have denied the lock-on on the fighters. And at least that would have stalled them, but that's a bit of an example of what I mean there. Okay. They did have the levels, so I don't know what to make of that. And apparently they were almost to legendary. So I consider that a success, but still. That's an example on just how simplistic Tau can have it. And the merchant fleet, that was as dangerous as you probably can get. But I did things wrong again, I told you. The winds had changed. I could have used that in such a way to deny the fighters, at least initially. And if I was more aware about where the seeker missiles were going, as you saw, I could have had my cruisers intercept that much more faster. At least the seeker missiles. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That was just a bit more tense than it needed to be. Alright, we're dealing with our number branded regular Imperial Guard officer, or at least Admiral, I suppose. And to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed we're not getting a rematch with Tau, because I made a couple of tweaks to my frigates, essentially, that actually should help me quite a bit there to get more value out of my winds of change. Because I should not have won that match, because, as I said, it's a lot more simpler for my opponent to just rush in there, as you kind of saw, and just launch missiles and bombers at me. But here's what I have done. I have changed my frigates to, the Infidels this time around, instead of the Apostates. Since really, the Apostates aren't really going to be shooting a whole lot if they're running with my fleet. And the reason I took the Infidel, these torpedoes are really great for getting the fighters to go after it, to chase after them. And guess what happens there? I don't need to activate my winds of change preemptively. Instead, I can wait until the fighters are away, and when they waste one charge of their seeker missiles, then I activate it, and those seeker missiles no longer do any damage at all. I don't have to do any fancy maneuvers to try and intercept them, shoot them down. I don't need to do none of that. Although this latency really sucks. It's a lot more simplistic, or at least a lot more forgiving for chaos, since I don't have to do extravagant maneuvers. And then we had to deal with seeker missiles and bombers, so maybe that's not true. And what do I want to do? I think I want to grab these 3 points and then turn around. Although I think it works better if I have just 2 cruisers over here, because keep in mind, these are battle cruisers and not regular cruisers. So they're going to grab the point a lot more quickly than the regular slaughters would in this case, as opposed to the last video is what I mean to say. Although this latency sucks, I am definitely feeling it, and do I want a disruption bomb here? I kind of get a feeling we're dealing with battleships. I get that feeling. Although stasis bomb's a little more forgiving in that sense, in case it's not.
For the War Master.
Yep, there's that latency. This could cause me a lot of problems. And we're dealing with 6 cruiser fleet. I think I got the engine. Oh,
Show us our victims.
let me actually pay attention
Sighted.
to my combustion gauge. I got a little too carried away. Alright, Grand Cruisers.
We stand ready.
So I need as much breathing room as possible for this.
You have seized a strategic
'Cause my opponent's
area.
clearly
The enemy has seized a
forfeiting.
strategic area. You have seized
Going.
a
Oh, and they have
strategic
brace for
area.
impact too.
For the
This
War
is going to be a
Master.
bit of a long match, though.
Engines hot. Reporting.
So frigates are just going to grab some points behind them.
We are unstoppable.
I have extended sensor range, which is pretty good. So I'll reveal them as soon as they get close. And let's just hope I could do damage in the meantime.
For the War Master.
I might even have my frigates try and harass them some, but we'll see what happens.
For the War Master. Enemy ship sighted. Show us our victims.
And even if I'm revealed, they can't really damage me if they're flying towards me now.
We'll follow your command for now.
Although, I'm wondering why he's not revealing. Okay, there we go.
For the ruinous powers.
Just take our time with this. I am not going to be able to kill this fleet quickly.
Setting course. Enemy ship sighted. Your orders. Setting course. Retros activated. Slaughter them. Retros activated.
Alright, just get on going and just let them have the middle of the map.
Moving to those coordinates.
Although, I didn't mean to get those frigates spotted there, but again, latency is going to be a pain.
Reporting.
Alright,
Moving to
so
those
how close am I
coordinates.
to... Well, not scanner pulsing.
Adjusting rotation.
Alright, if you're going to run,
As the War Master wills.
by all means, make this easy for me.
Enemy ship sighted.
I just gotta watch my combustion gauge.
Set engines to full ahead. We are unstoppable.
And just take my time hitting them.
We'll follow your command. For now.
Combustion gauge is definitely gonna suck here. I'm not liking
As
this.
the War Master wills. For the dark
And you're
gods.
probably gonna hear me rant about it incessantly, because it might very well cost me the match. Because where's my focus fire?
Burn. Show us our victims.
Alright. Sadly, most of my fleet's not even here, but I am in a position to grab the points from them.
To the slaughter.
And you guys are all
To those
set.
coordinates.
Disruption bomb means little if you can't actually see me, because where the hell are your frigates? I'm gonna mock you to this till the day I die, I think.
For the War Master.
Because we're already doing a lot of damage to your ships.
Break them.
So frigates,
Reporting.
I do lose a couple of points, but at the end of the day, I have a good point lead. I'm about to grab the one up there.
Your orders.
You are now on the hunt to grab that.
We stand ready. We are
Now take your free
unstoppable.
shots, ideally.
You have seized a strategic area.
Actually, just have these battle cruisers help steal the point. That's all I need to do.
Master.
Engine critical hit, nice there.
Set engines to full ahead.
You can easily repair the engines, so I don't see the concern right now.
Setting course.
Alright, it's gonna be one of those matches maybe. Not very exciting, because again, well, even they see me, what good does it do them right now?
Sighted.
I just gotta watch my combustion gauge.
Engines hot. To the slaughter.
And I do have stasis bombs and all that.
For the ruinous
Did they switch to reload stance is what I'm wondering. Nope, they're on lock-on.
25% of strategic points.
So I could just grab this point and keep on running. Gotta pay attention to latency and all that.
tear them apart.
And I will be briefly revealed.
For the War Master.
So let's get ready to reveal these ships.
To the slaughter. Engines hot. Reporting.
Alright, we're in a good situation here. Oh, I didn't prioritize the engine. That was the one that I just barely did not get.
Reporting.
You have seen
Just hammer this thing, cripple it, and just make short work of it.
Setting
I am on a bit of a clock, but as soon as they leave the gas cloud,
orders.
I will be able to continue pummeling this thing to death.
Show us our victims.
And we're doing really good progress. Not exciting, I apologize for that. And good God, is that warp out loud?
you've accumulated 50%.
That is as close as you probably could get to a mismatch. It was a short-range fleet that is slower than my fleet. I don't think I need to emphasize much more. The only real risk, for me at least, is to not get pincered into a corner, because their boarding damage, their macro weaponry, is a pain in the ass to deal with. So definitely good positioning and awareness is definitely key there, but not the most exciting type of match, I will admit. Alright, so we're face off against our Imperial Navy friend again, with the merchant fleet once more. So, this is kind of the opportunity I may have wanted. We'll see if my opponent's going with the 6 cruiser fleet or not. Because this is kind of the opportunity I wanted. It's just a question if I can put it into practice, or at least apply properly. Since, like I said, my ships do have a little bit more resilience compared to the regular cruisers, although I'm just realizing that latency might suck. Oh, I'm the host, so I don't have to worry about it this time. I think. Although, I already talked about the downsides to, face off against Taub, since they have the repair drone, and the secret missiles and bombers can still do amazing damage if I get complacent. Only thing I have going for me maybe is the additional range, better accuracy at range, but as you saw in the first match, that does very little good if they're going to rush me down like they did. And actually I want to switch these around some, since I think the gas cloud on the right probably serves me a little bit better. Although I don't know where my opponent's going to deploy, I'd rather have the space if I were to be honest. Actually, I'm going to do the best of both worlds. I'm not going to go for the middle of the map. If possible, well, actually, I'm not going to go for that middle objective is what I mean. I'm going to grab the 1 point here, turn and then grab this point, and then make my way up there, assuming my opponent deploys on this right side. That gives me more freedom to at least evade him for a little bit longer. Alright. We got like 5 cruisers of some kind. What that tells me is these are probably the ones that have the higher crew complement. These are a lot more resilient types.
For now.
But I already have an idea what I want to do.
Unstoppable.
I have that plan in mind. Again, it's a question of how well we'll do.
For now.
You have seized a
And I'm
strategic
wondering if there's a frigate of some kind to be mindful of.
The enemy has
Although
seized a
avoiding the beacon
strategic
is a big
area.
deal, but it's going straight towards, yeah, the left
Synergies to
objective.
full ahead.
I should in theory be able to outrun that really well.
For the
And if I
ruinous
could kill that frigate, that
power.
helps some. Yep, we already know this game.
We stand ready.
I sadly
The
burnt all my
enemy has
combustion
seized a
gauge there, but
strategic area.
I actually don't want my fighters to go too far ahead. The most important thing here is to burn their secret missiles.
War Master.
So that way they don't have it for later. Because these guys are already in good position
Reporting.
to help contribute a bit.
Reporting.
You have seized a strategic area.
Setting course.
The enemy
But
has
we
seized
still
a
have
strategic
some
area.
options available to us here.
Your
But the
orders.
frigates do make a bit of a difference.
We are unstoppable. Brace.
I'm waiting for the secret missiles.
Engines to full ahead. We
Oh,
stand
I burnt
ready.
all my combustion gauge, did I?
Retros activated. Show us our
Again, waiting for the secret missiles, killing off these ships here.
Engines hot.
Actually, I'm going to deal with these fighters pretty well too.
Enemy ship sighted. Moving to those coordinates. To the war
Alright, how much
master.
combustion gauge do I have left? I still gotta wait a while to recharge.
At once. Set engines
Although-
to full ahead.
Let's deal with these
War
frigates,
Master wills.
or these cruisers. Because all the fighters are dealt with.
We are unstoppable. We stand ready
Let's keep them at arm's length for the time being.
as the War Master wills.
And at least this opponent's sort of smart enough to not use the secret missiles right away. I do have to be ready
To those
still.
coordinates. Your orders. We stand ready.
Alright, everything's hitting, just keep pummeling this thing.
Disengaging.
Maybe I shouldn't have rallied because the fire assaults are going to kill this thing anyway.
Follow your command.
But that burnt all the secret missiles in a nice hurry.
Slaughter them. To the slaughter.
Now keep everything hitting.
Your orders. Enemy ship sighted. I cannot. Master.
Good deck destruction there.
Warp strike successful, Master. For the War Master.
And there are no fighters around. I have brace for impact, so
Incompetence. We cannot fight on.
we're doing good so far.
For the ruinous
I just gotta watch the health of my ships so far.
Your orders.
There are no fighters. I'm confident maybe
Retros activated.
that the point defense will take these down relatively well.
Master wills. Let the galaxy burn. To the slaughter.
And also let's continue boarding to cause some more
Master.
morale issues.
Our strike team slaughtered them.
And I have torpedoes. I could be using that to help some here. Although it might be too late
For now,
to get any real good value.
show us our victims.
Oh, and they have the battleship as well. That I wasn't aware of.
Enemy ship sighted.
Force these things to break. Sooner they break, the better.
We'll follow your command. For now,
And the fire assault should help with that.
reporting.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Now, I am currently marked, so maybe that was not very useful for me. Using the siege favor.
For the dark gods.
But my opponent's still refusing to use fighters. And this brace for impact stance is going to be amazing for that.
Retros
I'm just gonna straight up win this battle.
We are unstoppable.
Let's not jinx it though, but...
You have accumulated 25%.
And the marker lights are... The scanner pulses are still revealing me. But again, I have brace for impact.
Activated. Repair that
Let's
damage.
get you out of harm's way. Because the plan should be trying to roll... cycle the ships around.
Throws activated.
So that way shields get a chance to recharge.
To those coordinates.
It's hard to hit the one that's being focused down.
For the War Master.
Alright. And now they're going after the flagship, which we need to be mindful of.
Your orders. As the War
Engines are currently down, so we're going to have to commit to this fight, but I think we did what we need to already. I just need a little bit more boarding, continue to force these things to break.
Strike team slaughtered them.
Flagship is likely going to die unless I do something to stop this.
Retros activated. Show us our victims.
Alright, here comes the repair drone.
Executing high
So let's kill these ships now, rather than later.
ruinous powers.
And I wish I could find my frigate in this mess for some torpedo shenanigans.
Your orders. Setting course.
There. That is 2 of your ships out of the way.
Your command. For now. We stand
Now let's just board the flagship. And force that to break.
hot.
Because so far everything else is pretty much broken. I just am going to suffer a big morale spike of damage here.
Coordinates. Enemy ship sighted. Ah! Our minions rampage.
Alright, my boarding is about to become active again. Flagship is losing its crew. I'm waiting for my boarding options, damn you.
Show us our victims. Adjusting rotation.
I think we're good. I have 2 objectives that are 2, so it's not like they're going to win the objective game in all this mess.
For the ruinous powers.
They had the one thing I'll give them is they had a little more discipline than my other opponent
Changing orders.
with the seeker missiles. Although
Setting course.
I can't help but wonder,
For the War Master.
am I just winning this match because of latency on their end or not?
The wills.
The enemy has
I can't help but wonder.
accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Although, let me ram the flagship because I'm going to do much better on the ramming front than them.
Ship lost. Ship lost.
Although brace for impact would be helpful there.
Setting course.
Alright, repairs are underway.
Executing high energy turn.
You mutinied. Good riddance.
Executing high energy turn.
Now let's break this final one.
Show us our victims. Ship lost. Ship lost.
That's all she wrote. Definitely more tense than it was before. Mainly since I wasn't expecting the battleship. Which I don't know if that was probably the one with the heavy bomber bays. The 4 bombers, was it? I'm gonna have to check and see. But again, they had more discipline. I tried to game it, cheese it a little bit, by forcing them to fire seeker missiles and then just hiding my ships. They were gonna have none of that. With the amount of frigates they had, although something bugged out. I'm trying to finish my dialogue and I'm waiting for this victory screen to finish. There we are. Alright, so pretty generic type of skills. I'm wondering why you even need the probe if you have so many frigates, but that was a lot more tense than it probably needed to be, but it was also a lot more comfortable. Since my opponent did not really use their fighters to screen for seeker missiles, especially in close range. That's when those seeker missiles are terrifying for both sides. Because like I hinted at, the seeker missiles can hit Tao's own fleet. just not the one that actually fired the seeker missiles, as weird as that may sound though. So I would not have been able to deflect them with the winds of change or even using frigates like I did before, but there was a lot more opportunity to maybe bait the missiles to hit their own ships. Either way, I don't know what else to say. I was going to comment on winning against Tau, but it has made apparent there's still room to improve to get the most in that matchup.